Hey guys, what's up? Scotch Duck here once again. Okay, I did my little top 10 games of 2016 list a wee while ago there, and I've just thought to myself, hold on, I can do a 2017 list for our most anticipated games. Not very original, is it? I actually just saw like everybody starting to upload these videos in my subscription box and thinking, that's easy to do, let's go ahead and do that. I quickly opened up Notepad, did some googling, and I've came up with my 10 games that I'm going to put in order here. And one thing I'll say right off the bat, actually, looking at this list, it's a bit depressing in a sense that they're all fucking like sequels or, you know, spiritual successors or some shit. There's very little original stuff in 2016 that I'm hyped for. There's stuff I'll probably give a try, like one that comes to mind is that Horizon Zero Dawn, I think it's called, that PS4 game. That looks really good. Hopefully it will be really good, so I'll keep my eye on it. And, you know, just a whole bunch of other stuff here and there. Obviously, we know very little about what the NX, or the Switch, sorry, is going to have on it at launch, even though that comes in fucking March, holy shit. But in any case, this is, at this moment in time, January 3rd it is right now as I record this, my top 10. So, here we go. Right, first on the list, actually, I was just thinking about this. Do I really put this on the list? Because in a lot of ways, I'm not looking forward to it. Because it's something I'm going to buy, but will I enjoy it? That's Tales of Berseria. Now, the reason I'm a bit apprehensive about this is because the last Tales of game we got was Tales of Zestiria for the PS4. And that, you all know I loved the Tales of series like so much. It's such a go-to JRPG franchise that always comes out very consistently. And in the past few years has like really just hit like the Europe and America really hard with its releases, you know, like we even got like the Vita game, Tales of Hearts R released over here, you know, so, and I respect so much Namco's like dedication to getting that game series that's massively popular in Japan to other people. But this one, I feel like it's really starting to go a bit stale, basically. Because Tales of Zestiria, I could not be fucked to beat it. I thought it was really boring, the characters were annoying, and yeah, there's just so much stuff that you just notice they're repeating with this series, you know, they're just getting like quite samey, even though gameplay wise they're actually more different than they've ever been, you know, with little cool things like starting with Tales of Xillia, you had like the free camera and stuff, which was the first time that series had done that. Even Tales of Xillia is like a bit of an iffy game for me. I know a lot of people like that one, but that's kind of when it started to, this isn't as good for me anymore, so, but we'll see anyway. Tales of Berseria, I'll probably definitely talk about it when it comes out, regardless. That's number 10. Right, number 9 is a game that I have not been like looking up at all, but I guess like in my mind, if it is as good as I hope it will be, it'll definitely be like a Game of the Year contender. And that is Resident Evil 7. Now, Resident Evil 7, like, everybody's made this comparison already, but it's just PT, you know, like, Capcom played the PT demo that Konami released and was like, we can do that, and they just went ahead and did it, you know, it's built for VR, and, you know, even playing the demo, which came out back at, like, E3 last year, it did, like, a lot of shit that I just remember thinking, that's not Resident Evil, that's just fucking bullshit they've put in for VR, and because it probably looks like it belongs in like PT or something. Like there was this bit where you go in the demo where you go up to a fucking attic or whatever, and there's mannequins everywhere. You flip a switch or something, you turn around and the mannequin's suddenly like just there behind you, and it's supposed to freak you out. And I guess to some level it does, but that's not Resident Evil, you know. Resident Evil is all about, there better be a fucking secret lab underneath that house, okay? Filled with like failed medical experiments that want to kill you and all that. So, I don't mind the fact that the game is so different from the rest, because when you think about it, Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3, and Code Veronica, all had the same sort of like format with the tank controls and stuff, and then it was 4, 5, and 6, and like the Revelations games as well, that changed up the formula to the over-the-shoulder stuff, which we've been using to this day. So, like, reinventing the wheel is not something that Resident Evil is like immune to. The question to me is, how much can you make it feel like Resident Evil? Which 4 definitely does. 5 not so much, but it's a fun game anyway, and 6, Yeah, 6. So we'll see how it goes. I'll not be playing it with VR. I'm not buying a VR headset, can't be ours. But hopefully the game itself is really good. So yeah, that's that. Next up is a game that's coming out. There's a lot of games coming out in January that I've got here on this list. Like Resident Evil, that comes out in January. So does Tales of Berseria. And so does this next game. And it's not the last one. Which is Hatsune Miku, Future Tone. Is that what it's called? Is it called Future Tone? I know that it's like, basically what this is going to be, guys, is that it's if you have ever, you know, no shame, if you've ever, like, fancied going into the Project Diva series, you know, this is where you start, because it's not necessarily like a whole game as it is, like, just a massive compilation of all the songs and whatnot that we've had for the past, like, 5-6 years with the series, you know. It's going to be like all the games come together, built on this new engine for PS4, and there is like 200 and something songs on this, when a normal Project Diva game barely has 40, you know. So they're just taking all the songs they've already done, and I think some new ones as well, and just releasing them on as this like new game. I didn't even know what Future Tone was. Project Diva X came out last year for the PS4 and the Vita. And I bought it, I was like, okay, this is another Project Diva game. No bother, cool. What's that Project Diva Future Tone? Is that another Project Diva game? I'll probably play it. And yeah, and I find out that it's just like all the songs from previous games compiled together, and I'm like, suddenly I'm mega hyped for it, you know? No games from Project Diva X are going to be in it, which is fair enough, you know, the game's still new, you can still go buy that and stuff. It's also going to be digital only, but normally I would like moan about that to high hell, but I'm okay with it in the sense that Japan's getting it digital only as well. I only like really get annoyed when one region gets a physical release and we don't. If you've been subscribed for a long time, you know I moan about this stuff a lot, that's why I'm saying it there. But yeah, Hatsune Miku Project Diva Future Tone is number 8. So with that said, number 7 is going to be Yooka-Laylee. Which is a game I did back. I was like a bit of a late backer with it. I backed it via PayPal, you know, after the Kickstarter was done, you know. I don't know, it was like certain Kickstarters, like I'll look at them and be like, oh yeah, I'll buy that, you know. I'm not necessarily fussed about putting a bid down, but I'll definitely buy it, you know. I did that with like Bloodstained as well, you know, because Yooka-Laylee and Bloodstained, there was no way they weren't going to get like funded within the first like hour or something, which I think they kind of did really, and yeah, because everybody just kind of like threw money at them. And you just look at gameplay for Yooka-Laylee, and I'm just getting shivers, you know, there's tears in my eye. It's just like, I think like, to this day, there's not been a game quite like Yooka-Laylee. What I mean by that is, in the N64 era, we had like these really like what we perceived as like perfect platformers, where it was just like your anthropomorphic animal friend going through a nice little colourful world. In my laptop's with me sleep mode, and just like collecting shit in that, and all the way throughout like the 7th gen and even this gen. Okay, I don't know. I just remember always like playing games and thinking, oh yeah, this is sort of like that, but not exactly what I want, you know. Basically, I was just moaning because I wasn't getting a game that was exactly like, you know, Banjo-Kazooie, Mario 64, Jak and Daxter, only with HD graphics. And this is exactly what that's going to be, you know, like the map, you just have to look at the gameplay for like a few seconds, you're like, I know exactly how this game is going to play, and I want to play it now. It's going to be such a nostalgia blast, give me nice warm feelings in the heart, and yeah, it'll be so good. I cannot wait for Yooka-Laylee. And for number 6 we have, I'm surprised I put this over Yooka-Laylee actually. I must have like put this together quickly, but whatever. Number 6 is Gravity Rush 2. I really liked Gravity Rush, the first one. I played it on the Vita back when it came out then. Picked up the remaster on the PS4, played through it again, loved it, and was really surprised to hear they were making a sequel for it, you know, like, oh, Sony actually plans to continue this franchise, brilliant. And they released a demo of it the other day there, and it's like, it's pretty much the same sort of style, looks a wee bit better. Cat actually doesn't even have like an outfit change, which I thought was kind of weird, but I imagine it's just going to play the same. It'll be like a nice little sandbox game with your whole cool gravity mechanics cutting about, and you'll get to play as like Raven as well, you know, who was a side character in the first Gravity Rush, so that'll be cool too. So yeah, not too much to say about that. I just really like the first one. I'm really looking forward to playing the next one. That also comes out in January, by the way, so that's another thing. Next on the list is Gravity Rush 2 in January, maybe April, March, I don't know, but this one does come out in January. Seriously, I'm just putting nothing but January games on here. It's infuriating. But number 5 is going to be Yakuza 0. Now, I'm in a weird place with Yakuza at the moment, okay? Because that's another series that I just go on about constantly, basically. You know, like, I love Yakuza 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 and 4 especially are some of the finest games I've ever played. They are just brilliant, you know? But the thing about Yakuza, as many of you will know, is that it's such a popular franchise in Japan that you get a lot of like weird games over there that don't make their way over here. Like, there's been a couple of games that have been set in ancient Japan that we never got. There was like some PSP games that we never got. What else? There was like a zombie game, which we did got, which was okay. But we have been announced to be getting Yakuza 6 and Yakuza Kiwami? It's some sort of weird subtitle, but basically it's a remake of the first Yakuza. And we're gonna get those, which is brilliant, you know? But obviously Yakuza 0, which is a prequel to the first game, which I don't know how excited I am about regarding that, because I didn't think Yakuza 1 was, like, amazing. It's a good game. It is a good game, but I don't think the series became legitimately excellent until, like, the third game. So, seeing, like, the characters from the first game in Yakuza 0 might throw me off at first, but if they're written well enough, you know, I'll be into it for sure. So, yeah, and it's obviously going to be on PS4 for the first time. It'll run 60 frames per second. Looks really good. I'm hoping it'll just, like, reignite the fire for Yakuza for me. Because I think what it was is that Yakuza 4 was, like, so perfect to me and also ended so perfectly. This happened with Ratchet and Clank, A Crack in Time as well, okay? It ended so perfectly for me that I was just like, I don't feel the need to play any more Yakuza. It's such a weird feeling, that, because that was pretty much evidenced by Yakuza 5. I couldn't get into Yakuza 5 for some reason. Probably a reason for that was the fact that it was digital only over here. I know, I shouldn't let that get to me, but it does. It shouldn't be a factor, but it is. I don't know, Yakuza 5, like, I played a good, like, halfway through it or something. There's 5 chapters in the game. I got, like, to chapter 3, where you actually play as Haruka, which was pretty, like, mind-blowing to me. And I was just like, I'm not really digging this. I don't know why, I'm just not. So, yeah, maybe the whole going back prequel with Yakuza 0 will let me get, like, my foot into the series again and start appreciating it again, you know? So, I mean, we've got 2 other Yakuza games incoming after this one, so might as well. So, yeah, Yakuza 0. That was a long explanation, wasn't it? That was number 5. Okay, number 4 is going to be a tie for 2 franchises, both of which are Sega, again, incidentally. Probably guessed this. Project Sonic and Sonic Mania. Yeah, Sonic's 2 25th anniversary games coming out in the year of his 26th anniversary. Weird, but what can you do? Project Sonic, I'll talk about that first since a lot less. We've still yet to see some proper gameplay of it, and obviously all the evidence and like all the fan speculation is that it's just going to be like similar to Sonic Generations in the sense that you will play as modern Sonic and classic Sonic, go through similar styled levels that you got in Generations, and if it's going to do that, that's absolutely fine. It'll probably come out PS4, Xbox One, probably look amazing, probably play even better than those games. Please just do that, Sega, okay? Like, I'm still iffy on the fact that you brought back classic Sonic, because what made classic Sonic special is gone now, you know? It's like, I always joked about it, but classic Sonic really is just going to become like, he's just going to show up there on the character selection screen for like the new Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. You know, he's going to be his own character rather than this like special like throwback event that you put in Sonic Generations. You know, it's like it just kind of sucks, you know. But as long as you make the game good, I'll know more. But more to the point and more, I think it's like March this comes out, is Sonic Mania. There's not too much to say on Sonic Mania really. It's a 2D Mega Drive style Sonic game. It looks amazing. Yeah, I'll probably definitely be talking about that a lot more as it comes out. There's a few things I would like to talk about the new, but I'm rambling enough here, so fuck it. Project Sonic and Sonic Mania are tied for number 4. Third is Nier. Fuck, I can never mind the subtitle for this one. I just call it Nier 2, okay? I was a big fan of Nier. I played through Nier quite a few years after it came out, because I remember I picked it up when it first came out and didn't actually like it. But a few years later, after it got its cult following, I was like, did I miss something? I didn't even get that far in it. But I played through it to the end a few years later, and I think I did get it on my second playthrough. It's one of those games, I like to really strongly compare it to Deadly Premonition. A game that's on a weird level, definitely not completely competently made, but is designed in such a way that it's not really bad to play, it's just weird to play. And the game itself has a really strong story, but that strong story again is just really weird. Deadly Premonition, Nier, I recommend checking those games out, but keep in mind that it might not be for you basically. It just depends on how much you're willing to let the weirdness flow in those games really, We're about to run out of battery, I better speed this up. But yeah, I've played the demo for Nier 2. Fucking amazing, it really is. It's Platinum Games, what did you expect? I love Platinum Games, I still do. I know they've released a few shoddy titles, like that Ninja Turtles one in 2016. I don't care, I still love them. And this demo just looks amazing, It's gonna be, I'll be curious as to how weird they keep Nier 2 actually, because if it's a competently made hack and slash game, which is Platinum Games' specialty, then that'll be really good too. But I'm hoping for that weirdness factor from the first game as well. So we'll see with that. That's April, I think. I'm definitely looking forward to that. So yeah, Nier 2. And number 2 is a game that, actually these are both, 1 and 2 are fairly predictable at this point, but number 2 is Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. What more to say is there about this fucking game? The only question about it now is when the fuck does it come out? I will probably pick it up on the Wii U, first of all, because I don't know if I'm going to get a Switch day one. I probably will, but I'm a big enough fan of Zelda that I want to try it out on the Wii U and the Switch, just like Twilight Princess, I've got both versions of Twilight Princess, I just want to experience it on both, and I think experiencing on the Wii U first and foremost, the way it was intentionally built to, will probably be I don't know, interesting to me. Either way, I'm going to get the game both consoles for sure. But yeah, there's really not much really to say about it. It just needs to fucking come out, And again, it'll probably be something I talk about quite a bit in 2016. Just fucking come out. Don't delay it again. You're gonna delay it again, aren't you? Come out this year, okay? At least come out this fucking year, Nintendo. We all want to play some Zelda. So yeah, number 2, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and number 1 is Dragon Quest XI. There's not much really to say there. It's Dragon Quest. We got that sort of a gameplay overhaul a couple of weeks back there, and it got me really excited. I played through Dragon Quest VII this year. Dragon Quest VIII, the remake of the 3DS, comes out in a couple of yeah, that's a January game as well, and I'll be picking that up. As well as Dragon Quest Heroes 2. I've not played Dragon Quest Builders yet, but yeah, it's going to be looking like a really good year for Dragon Quest for sure. Presuming that Dragon Quest XI actually comes out this year, it might get delayed. I think it's coming out relatively soon in Japan as well. And I guess there's also the question that will we get the PS4/Nintendo Switch version, which is going to be the same game, they're just coming out on PS4 and the Switch, or will we also get the 3DS version? I think if we're going to get any version, it'll be PS4/Switch. We might get the 3DS version. I'll take either one really. For those of you that don't know, they're going to be 2 different builds of the game, So yeah, just gotta wait and see on that one. But if I had to pick a game that I'm most excited for, it's that one. It's Dragon Quest. I've talked about Dragon Quest so much in 2016. How about I make that a resolution? It's like, not... Even though there's like 4 Dragon Quest games coming out this year, I'll be prepared for more Dragon Quest stuff. Yeah. Anyway, that's my top 10, guys. Let me know what you think. Give me some of yours. And like I said, you know, not a single new franchise. I think the only like new franchise is Yooka-Laylee, which hardly counts because it's fucking Banjo-Kazooie. You know, everything else is a sequel. I guess that's the whole point of these like most anticipated things. You tend to stick with like franchises that are more established and stuff. You know, the new stuff is, well, it's pretty much just that. You know, it's stuff for you to be surprised at when you play it in the new year. You know, so I'm sure like I'm sure in a year's time when I do my top 10 games 2017, we'll have some new stuff on there. But I also more so expect quite a few of these games to be on it. So yeah. There you go, guys. See you later. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Okay, I'm sitting here editing the fucking video right now, and I fucking forgot about Persona 5. Fucking Persona 5. Who the fuck forgets about Persona 5? Persona 5 fucking... Persona 5. Yeah, that's anticipated. For definite. Persona 5.